Stay on. Let's just address that news on M&M. Their first EV launch. I mean, M&M calls it born electric. That's the way they address their entire portfolio. And this has been the next big talking point and perhaps the next big trigger for the stock as well. We have Parikshit joining in with some perspective. I think, Parikshit, both customers and the market have been very eagerly awaiting to see what M&M has to offer when it comes to this born electric portfolio. Tell us more about it and, you know, what are the company's aspirations on the EV side?
Well, the Mahindra Group was lacking a strong electric portfolio for the last few years, wasn't it? Now we're told the company is all set to launch not one, but two new electric SUVs, which have been developed ground up. And these will be launched on the 26th of November. And what sources tell us that the company is likely to use these cars to make their foray into the luxury electric vehicle segment. Their aspiration is, the Mahindra Group's aspiration is to take the fight to the likes of Mercedes-Benz, the BMW and the Audis in India. Now, the name of these SUVs will be unveiled next week, is what we are told. One of them will be a pure luxury SUV. One of them will be more of an off-roader. They will have advanced Qualcomm chips. That's what sources tell us. And they'll have several futuristic connected car features, ADAS, and safety features as well. As far as the pricing is concerned, they'd like to price it somewhere close to their current SUV portfolio. So we expect the pricing to be either around 35 lakhs or under 35 lakhs. So what's going to be different as to how these cars will be marketed by the brand? Well, we believe that a team of at least 500 to 600 specialized people have been hired by the Mahindra team. They'll be deployed across dealerships in the country, and their job will be to exclusively promote and explain the features of these cars to customers. Initially, the customers will be called by invitation only. Sales will begin early next year. There is a plan to begin exports as well. A charging infrastructure plan will also be launched by the Mahindra Group. So lots in the offing. So we'll have to stay tuned for the 26th of November. In fact, the month of November, we'll have some other EV launches from some of the big car makers. So we'll have to wait and watch for a lot of announcements then.
Yeah, exciting times ahead. And I think this is going to be a big one to watch from M&M. Parikshit, given that you said that they're going to try and compete with the best names in luxury here, I mean, including the likes of Mercedes, and you mentioned about 30 to 35 lakhs. I mean, what would the blended average, pricing of the M&M portfolio be now? Because, again, we're just thinking from a margin perspective, as this scales up, if they hit the right notes with these new products, then the overall margin for the company will start increasing, right, with these EVs as well. So what would the average selling price be now across the portfolio? And these ones, like you're saying, should be coming in at around 30, 35 lakhs.
You know, the average selling price of the Mahindra portfolio would be around 20 lakhs is what I would say. For example, the top end SUVs, the luxury SUVs from the Mahindra Group right now in the XUV and the Scorpio segment will cost you around 30 lakhs or a little more once you add all the regulatory costs together. The lower end variants would cost somewhere between 16 to 20 lakhs. So I would say the average selling price of the Mahindra portfolio is around 15 to 20 at this juncture. Some of the SUVs, the mid-range SUVs, have seen a drastic price cut also. That is also something we'll have to keep in mind. But considering that there are a lot of electric offerings in the market and Mahindra has to target exports as well. You have the likes of Hyundai Ioniq. Luxury car makers are launching a lot of EV options in India, and the government is also trying to sweeten the deal for EV makers like Tesla in the future. That's why the Mahindra Group wants to price their new EV portfolio very, very competitively.
It's an exciting market, and they have established absolute dominance in the SUV market very early on. Let's see what they come up with when it comes to the EV side. Parikshit, thank you very much for joining in with that.